Hello, and welcome to Tech Talk, brought to you by Cognition Jump. My name is Matthew, and with me, as always, is my co host, Sierra. How are you today, Sierra?
I'm great, Matthew. How are you?
Doing well, especially well because we get to chat with one of our former JUMPro students, Sean. And Sean is a special student because Sean is also now part of the Cognition Jump team, which is very exciting. So, hey, Sean, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks, Matt.
Good, good. Well, we're looking forward to getting to talk with you about your experience in the program and where you are now. It's very exciting. And I'll go ahead and turn it over to Sierra to get the interview started.
Awesome, Matthew. Thank you so much. And good morning, Sean. We are super happy to have you join us today. So, we would love to really start off this conversation with really just hearing about your background and overall your JUMP program experience. So, can you share with us what your experience was like?
Sure. So thank you, Sierra. My jump experience started when I was contacted through LinkedIn due to my educational background, which basically was a master's in electrical and computer engineering with a specialty in software engineering. And I also had a bachelor's in electrical and computer engineering. And as I pursued my bachelor's, it became more and more evident that, my aptitude towards technology and sort of my interest in sort of robotics initially, and then just the programming of robotics and things like that. I sort of continued to find my skill set was really in the computer side of computer and electrical engineering. And so that's why when I went back to get my master's, I definitely focused more on software. And after joining the JUMP program, I actually mentioned that I had previous TA experience in addition to studying software engineering. So that I think kind of clued the team in that, maybe this is someone that we could bring in to be a part of the Cognition team. And then from that point, I finished out the Java proactive course to get more proactive firsthand experience of what joining the team at Cognition would be like. And then after completing the course, I officially joined the team. So it's been great since then.
All right, well, very cool, Sean. I always love hearing where kind of like the origin stories come from and where people find their passion for whatever it is they're doing in life. But especially with us in technology and development in the different fields we work with. Just quick kind of side question here. What was the language or the tech that made you passionate about programming or development?
Well, I was actually a TA for MATLAB initially, which is not all too similar to Java. I mean, it definitely translates, but it's not compiled. It's not a compiled language. But that was the initial TA experience I had. But I really just started to, take an interest in object-oriented programming and Java specifically. So as I sort of continued in the programs that I was a part of, I touched on some Python. I touched on actually Pharo in this like software engineering class, which is like a purely object-oriented language. Um, so I studied Agile and I studied OOP, and really Java is sort of the core for me for all that.
Very cool. With that, how with all these technologies that you're learning, especially in the Jump program, how did you find yourself to be successful? What sort of things did you do?
I think being adaptable was key to my success. When I was initially contacted, I was actually willing to adapt to learning COBOL, as I felt I had enough experience programming throughout different languages that would translate over to that language. But then, given the opportunity to go through the Java course and ultimately join the Java team, I adapted to that new goal. And I tend to measure my success with how well I'm able to debug. And I think that skill was integral to my success throughout the JUMP program and is also a resource to other students now that I've joined the team myself. Debugging, I think, really just helps assure myself that I can ask for help, and it's always an option, but I can also help myself.
Very nice. Yeah, I mean, Sean, you were definitely so successful in the JUMP program, and I think you hit on a great point in terms of being adaptable. This is usually you're learning at least one new technology, maybe even 10 at some points. So you definitely do need to be adaptable, and you're so successful in the entire program. And of course, even being on our team, you've been extremely successful. So it's always great to see. And just thinking back to your JUMP program experience, you obviously encountered a lot of different successes and you learned a lot as well. What do you think out of the entire JUMP program experience? What do you think that you found overall the most fulfilling about the entire time there?
I would say the most fulfilling thing about the JUMP program was creating success not only for myself, but for others. I really enjoyed the team environment when we got to do team projects. And not only that, but just, collaborating with, with my fellow students and team members. And so I always keep that abundance mentality when working with others because I love seeing success from myself, but also from those that I've helped and collaborated with. So it's just really fulfilling to see success from the team that I've been a part of.
We love that abundance mentality, as you mentioned, right? There's enough success to go around, especially when you're working on of course, a group project like that, and fitting for you working with our team. So, in addition to that, Sean, what maybe sort of things or what advice would you give to individuals thinking of joining the program?
The advice I would give to individuals, kind of considering the jump program, I would say just don't get too discouraged by the job market, first of all. Keep on improving your skills and consider the resources that the cognition team can provide. The jump program can really hone your skills and connect you with positions that want you and your skill set. And it's really just a great environment and a great team to be a part of.
Awesome, Sean. We love to hear that. And that is such great advice, especially for individuals that don't know much about the JUMP program just yet. And you hit on such a great area of the job market, and it can be an intimidating area to dive into. So thank you so much for sharing your journey with us today. It was awesome to get a deep dive into what your experience was like and how you were successful overall in the training. So Sean, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Sierra, and thank you, Matt. Happy to be here.
Of course, yeah, it was a pleasure having you, Sean. So thanks so much. Well, you've been listening to Tech Talk with myself, Matthew, and my awesome co-host Sierra. Our special guest here today was Sean. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch y'all next time.